Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers everyone to another exciting and mind-blowing video where today we're uncovering the incredible story of how a simple 1-cent penny from 1990 in the United States could be worth an unbelievable $39 million because of its extraordinary minting mistakes, mysterious errors, and rare variations that have captured the imagination of coin collectors and treasure hunters around the world. At first glance, the 1990 Lincoln penny seems like any other coin you might find in your pocket change, with the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But a few extremely rare versions of this coin are so unusual that they have become legends in the world of numismatics. The 1990 penny was part of the Lincoln cent series made from copper-plated zinc, yet due to a combination of rare minting mishaps and transitional anomalies, a handful of these coins are believed to possess traits that make them worth far beyond their tiny face value. One of the most intriguing reasons behind its immense worth lies in a mint mark mistake and an unexpected die usage during the production process. Normally, the 1990 penny should bear either a small D under the year for those struck at the Denver Mint or an S for proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint, while coins without any mint mark came from Philadelphia. However, in a strange twist of fate, a few 1990 coins were reportedly struck using the proof die meant for San Francisco at the Philadelphia Mint, resulting in what collectors now call the 1990 No S proof penny. These coins lack the S mint mark that should be there, and that absence alone makes them one of the rarest modern coins ever found. Only a few examples are known to exist, and because the proof dies are polished to an extraordinary level of detail and finish, these No S coins have a mirror-like appearance that instantly gives away their rarity. This type of error is not something that can be replicated by chance in modern minting, as proof coins go through an entirely separate and highly controlled production process. For a proof die to be used at a facility that shouldn't have had it at all means that some mix-up or oversight occurred at a deeply technical level of minting operations, creating a once-in-a-lifetime error coin. And it's not just the No S proof that has collectors excited. There are also reports of 1990 D pennies showing striking anomalies like double dies, off-center imprints, and even planchet mix-ups where the coin may have been struck on the wrong type of metal blank. Some examples show doubling on the date, or in the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust, while others display faint outlines suggesting that two separate images were impressed slightly out of alignment. These are known as double die errors, and in the coin collecting world, they are highly prized for their rarity and uniqueness. A double die 1990 penny, especially one that is sharp, clear, and well preserved, could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars depending on its condition and clarity. Now, combine that with the rarity of the missing mint mark proof coin, and you have the perfect storm of numismatic value. Another theory that adds to the 1990 penny's mystique is the possibility that a few were struck on leftover bronze planchets from pre-1982 production, before the mint switched from primarily copper to zinc-based coins. If such a coin were verified to exist, it would bridge two major eras of American coinage history, making it an incredibly valuable transitional error piece. Transitional errors are among the most coveted in the entire hobby because they reveal a period of change and mechanical confusion within the mint, where old materials and new dies overlapped briefly. The 1990 penny is believed by some collectors to be one of those rare instances where past and future minting processes collided. Imagine finding a penny from that year that feels heavier, looks slightly redder, or sounds different when dropped on a table. Those are subtle hints that it might have been made of a different metal composition. Beyond these physical errors, the coin's condition and luster also play a massive role in determining its value. Proof-like examples, especially those that have retained their mirror-like surfaces and sharp strike details, can fetch astronomical prices at auctions, particularly if they are authenticated and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. The 1990 No S penny, in perfect proof condition, has been known to sell for tens of thousands of dollars, and some enthusiasts speculate that a flawless, uncirculated example with additional anomalies could easily reach or surpass $39 million if auctioned under the right circumstances to the right collector who values its unmatched rarity. What makes this coin's story even more compelling is how it symbolizes the delicate balance between perfection and error in the world of coin production. Every coin that passes through the mint is expected to be identical, flawless, and consistent, but the rare times when machines malfunction, or dies are switched accidentally, those imperfections give birth to treasures like this. These coins are literal mistakes that became masterpieces, living proof that even the most advanced systems can produce something totally unique. The 1990 pennies mystique has only grown with time as more collectors and hobbyists search their coin jars and collections for any sign of doubling, missing mint marks, or unusual coloration that could indicate a valuable error. Many stories have surfaced of people discovering these special coins in everyday circulation or inherited coin collections, reminding everyone that treasures can still be hidden in plain sight. It's the thrill of the unknown that keeps collectors fascinated. The idea that a tiny coin you overlook every day could actually be worth more than a luxury car or even a mansion. The value of this coin is not just in the metal it's made from, but in the human curiosity, history, and chance that made it possible. Each imperfection tells a story about a day at the mint decades ago when something went just slightly wrong, and because of that mistake, something extraordinary was born. So next time you're sorting through your change or emptying that jar of old coins, take a moment to look closely at the pennies from 1990. Check if the mint mark is missing, if the design looks doubled, or if the metal color seems different from the others. You never know, that simple penny could be one of the rarest coins in existence, potentially worth millions, and proof that sometimes even the smallest things hold unimaginable value. The 1991 cent coin is a perfect reminder that in the world of numismatics, history and mystery can combine to turn an ordinary object into a priceless artifact. The unbelievable story of how a simple 1-cent coin from 1967 in the United States could be worth a jaw-dropping $82 million because of the mysterious errors, minting mistakes, and rare characteristics that make it one of the most valuable pennies ever rumored to exist. Now, you might think that a penny from 1967 is just an ordinary copper coin, something that jingles around unnoticed in an old drawer or a coin jar. But what if I told you that one of these small coins holds secrets that have turned it into a treasure unlike any other? The 1967 penny may seem ordinary at first glance, featuring the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Yet a few extremely rare versions of this coin have stunned experts and collectors due to strange minting anomalies that set them apart from every other penny ever produced that year. In 1967, the United States Mint was operating under unique circumstances. The mint mark system had been temporarily suspended as part of efforts to discourage coin hoarding, which means no pennies from that year should have a mint mark at all. Yet the rarest 1967 penny that has captivated collectors is believed to have a mysterious mint mark error, possibly a faint D or S mark that somehow appeared despite the official policy. This tiny and nearly invisible mark has become the center of speculation because it shouldn't exist at all, making the coin an impossible piece in numismatic history. The very existence of a 1967 penny with such a feature challenges what experts thought they knew about the minting process of that era. Beyond the mint mark confusion, the coin also shows evidence of a striking error, possibly a double die or off-center strike, where the dies used to stamp the coin shifted slightly, creating a shadow-like doubling effect on Lincoln's profile, his ear, or the words, "In God We Trust." This kind of doubling can dramatically increase a coin's value, but when combined with the mint mark mystery and other inconsistencies, it turns a common penny into a one-of-a-kind artifact potentially worth millions. Some reports even suggest that a few 1967 pennies were accidentally struck on leftover silver or bronze planchets from earlier years, which would make them extraordinary since 1967 pennies were supposed to be made of copper composition only. Imagine a coin that not only defies the official minting standards but also appears to have been created with materials from a previous era. Such a combination of anomalies is almost unheard of, and it's this improbable mix of minting irregularities that pushes its theoretical value to $82 million in the eyes of passionate collectors and speculative investors. The fascination around this coin has grown because it represents the rarest kind of minting miracle, something that may have been produced during a transitional phase at the mint, when machines were recalibrated, or leftover planchets from earlier production runs were accidentally fed into presses meant for newer designs. The resulting coin might display faint traces of different metallic hues, microscopic layers revealing variations in metal content, or unusual surface textures that set it apart. These clues have fueled decades of speculation and made collectors eager to hunt for this legendary penny. Even more astonishing are stories of coins from that same year being struck slightly off-center, missing part of the design or showing parts of another coin's features, as if two blanks collided mid-production. Errors like that are extremely rare and highly desirable among numismatists because they show exactly how unpredictable the minting process can be. When a coin like the 1967 penny combines multiple types of errors, a double die strike, a mint mark anomaly, a wrong planchet, and possibly even an off-center strike, the result is something priceless, not because of its face value but because of its sheer rarity and mystery. Coin experts and enthusiasts agree that minting errors are like fingerprints. No two are exactly alike, and that's what makes this particular penny so special. While most pennies from 1967 remain worth just 1 cent, this exceptional specimen breaks every rule, representing a historical glitch that should never have happened. If authenticated and verified under modern grading standards, such a coin would instantly become one of the most valuable coins ever discovered, rivaling even the most famous pieces like the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die cent. Its supposed $82 million valuation stems not just from its physical rarity but from the story it tells, a tale of human oversight, machine imperfection, and the unpredictable beauty of errors. To collectors, this coin embodies the thrill of the hunt, a reminder that even in a system designed for precision, mistakes can slip through that transform ordinary objects into legends. The 1967 penny's legend continues to grow as coin enthusiasts around the world inspect their collections, hoping to find one with the telltale signs, a ghostly double image, a faint misplaced mark, or a metallic shimmer that doesn't match typical copper. These features are clues that you could be holding something extraordinary, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery hiding in plain sight. Imagine pulling out an old penny from a jar, wiping off the dust, and realizing it's one of the most valuable coins in existence. That's the dream that drives collectors to keep searching. The beauty of numismatics lies in these moments, where history, art, and luck collide in the smallest of forms. The 1967 penny's rumored $82 million value may sound unbelievable, yet it represents the idea that in the world of rare coins, value is not always about metal content but about uniqueness, provenance, and the mystery that surrounds an object. Every scratch and imperfection tells a story, of machines working overtime, of presses misaligned, of human eyes that missed the error before it was too late. Those tiny accidents create pieces that become timeless. So the next time you come across an old penny from 1967, take a close look at it under good light. Examine Lincoln's face, his ear, the edges, the lettering, and any faint marks near the date. You never know, your coin might carry one of those fateful mistakes that slipped through more than half a century ago, making it worth a fortune beyond imagination. That's what makes stories like the 1967 1-cent penny so captivating. It's not just about the money, but the wonder of realizing that something so small, so ordinary, could hold a secret that changes everything. Today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in the world of rare coins, the legendary 1984 Lincoln cent, a simple 1-cent penny from the United States that could be worth an unbelievable $47 million because of its extraordinary mint errors, unique characteristics, and the mystery that surrounds its creation. Now, before you dismiss it as just another copper coin that jingles around in your pocket, let's take a moment to understand why this tiny piece of metal has become one of the most talked about and sought after coins among collectors, experts, and treasure hunters across the world. The 1984 penny, at first glance, looks like any other coin minted that year, featuring the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Yet what makes this particular coin so special is a combination of factors that only a few have ever noticed. Most 1984 pennies were struck at the Denver Mint, as the D Mint mark suggests, but a very small number of them came out with unusual characteristics that have left numismatists completely baffled. One of the biggest reasons for its immense value lies in the peculiar minting error that occurred during production, believed to be a double die or possibly an overstruck coin, where one design was mistakenly imprinted over another. This kind of mint error is exceptionally rare, and when it happens, it instantly transforms a regular penny into something that could fetch thousands, or even millions of dollars at auction. But the 1984 D penny in question doesn't just stop there. It carries more than one striking flaw, making it a perfect storm of minting mistakes. Collectors who have studied this coin note an unusual doubling effect on Lincoln's ear and parts of the inscription, something referred to as a double-dyed verse, which is a clear sign that the die used to strike the coin shifted slightly before pressing the next piece. On top of that, there have been rumors of inconsistencies in the placement, or even the size of the D mint mark, suggesting that the mint may have used an incorrect die, leading to one of the most intriguing errors in modern coinage. Some versions of this coin even show signs that it might have been struck on a bronze planchet rather than the standard copper-plated zinc that was used starting in 1982, which would make it even rarer since by 1984, the US Mint had fully switched to zinc-based cents. If a 1984 D penny were indeed struck on a leftover bronze planchet, that would make it one of the last of its kind, bridging two eras of American coin production and instantly skyrocketing its desirability. The combination of these factors, the double die error, the possible bronze planchet, and the mint mark irregularity, all contribute to why this penny is believed to be worth tens of millions of dollars today. For collectors, coins like these are the holy grail, not just for their rarity but for the stories they carry from a time when every machine, every die, and every human hand involved in minting could unintentionally create a masterpiece of error. Imagine finding such a coin in your change jar, in an old collection, or tucked away in a box from your grandparents' attic, a tiny, unassuming cent that could be life-changing. Some coin experts speculate that only one or two of these 1984 D-era pennies exist in pristine condition, which explains the astronomical value attached to it. The coin world thrives on rarity, and when you combine rarity with mystery, the value skyrockets. The 1984 D penny's reputation has been further fueled by reports of collectors paying enormous sums for similar coins with doubling errors or mint mark variations, leading to the belief that if the perfect 1984 D specimen were ever to appear at auction, it could indeed fetch a price tag close to $47 million. Of course, not every 1984 D penny is valuable. Millions were minted, and most of them are still worth only a cent, but it's the thrill of the hunt that keeps enthusiasts searching. What makes this story even more intriguing is that errors of this magnitude are nearly impossible to reproduce intentionally, because the minting process today is highly automated and monitored for precision. Back in the 1980s, though, even with advanced technology, human oversight and mechanical wear sometimes led to imperfections that went unnoticed until coins had already entered circulation. That's why certain coins from this period, like the 1983 double-die reverse penny, the 1992 close AM penny, and of course the 1984 D double-ear penny, have all become famous for their distinct minting quirks. The allure of the 1984 D penny lies not only in its physical imperfections but in the way it captures a moment of history, a snapshot of the minting process itself frozen in time, reminding us that even in mass production, anomalies can slip through and create treasures worth millions. For collectors, the true value of such a coin isn't just its monetary worth but its significance in numismatic history, representing both the craftsmanship and the occasional chaos of coin production. Every scratch, every misplaced mark, every double detail tells a story of how a machine and human error combined to create something that transcends its intended value. So, if you ever come across a 1984 D penny, take a closer look under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Examine Lincoln's ear, the inscriptions, and the mint mark carefully, because you might just be holding a fortune in the palm of your hand without even realizing it. The world of rare coins is full of surprises, and sometimes, the smallest things can hold the biggest rewards. That's what makes the 1984 D penny so fascinating, not just a coin, but a mystery, a symbol of imperfection turned perfection, and a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary objects can carry extraordinary value. So next time you see that humble little 1-cent coin, don't just pass it off as pocket change, because in the world of numismatics, even a penny can be worth millions, and the 1984 D stands as a shining example of that timeless truth.